The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Another day of interviews for the New York Jets. Are we getting close to round two for the GM candidates? I believe we are. We'll talk about the latest. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Who's the coach? Who's the GM? Who's the quarterback? At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Yes, it is. Welcome in, everybody. Click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We are just under 50 subscribers away from 41K. Thank you all for your incredible support to celebrate 41,000 subscribers and to celebrate the fact that you guys have gifted so many memberships to be in our upcoming raffle. I have upped the prizes for our 12th Asmaniac raffle. The grand prize is still the signed Garrett Wilson helmet. But I have now added a signed, authenticated Hall of Famer Joe Klecko jersey. So we have the young star of the Jets and one of the all-time greats of the Jets. So Garrett Wilson signed helmet, Joe Klecko jersey is now the top two prizes for our next raffle. If you want in, gift a membership or send a $20 super chat for 5 entries. T-Town already in. He saw the Klecko jersey and is like, I want in on this. So there you go. T-Town gifting a membership before we even get going here on the show. Thank you very much to T-Town. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the latest with the Jets search for a general manager. They have now officially interviewed 15 GM candidates. And I understand that there's a lot of people that have questioned the Jets interview process. I certainly have questioned some of the requests or lack thereof for certain coaching candidates. But as far as general manager candidates go, I think if you're being fair, it's tough to criticize the volume and the quality of the candidates the Jets have requested for their general manager. I think they've done a really good job casting a wide net and also basically requesting the top guys for these jobs. We're at 15 GM candidates. 15. And of the GMs that have interviewed, right, here are the ones with previous general managing experience. Thomas Dimitroff, Ray Farmer, Ryan Grigson, John Robinson, and as of yesterday, Bill's assistant general manager, Brian Gaine. You have a wide net of first-timers. Mike Borgonzi, Trey Brown, Mike Greenberg, Alec Hallerby, Dallin Mogi, Jim Nagy, Lance Newmark, Louis Riddick, Chris Spielman, and now, as of yesterday, John Eric Sullivan, who is the Packers VP of Player Personnel. So now that we're at 15 interviews for these jobs, I believe the New York Jets are going to move forward with round two of the GM interview process. You know, you speak to the initial 15, and remember, the Jets started this process well before the regular season was even over in regards to the GM. They obviously spoke with, Ron Rivera and Mike Vrabel with a week to go in the regular season. But the Jets first interviewed Thomas Dimitroff, I think it was like in early December or certainly mid-December. I could check that, but it wasn't that far, removed from that timeline. So you look at the process now, it's going to be very interesting to see. They interviewed Dimitroff in around mid-December. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets a second chance to interview again, right? Who's going to be advanced forward in round two. I would expect the Jets to start letting candidates know that are in the running for the job, hey, we want to talk to you again. That already could have happened for all we know. We know the Tennessee Titans have begun their process of finding a GM with a second round of interviews. They've already announced like 4 people that they want to speak to for a second time. So the Jets will get those interviews, I'd imagine, scheduled for this week. And if it goes well, it wouldn't surprise me if the Jets end up with a new general manager by the end of the week. Like, I think when the Jets could start actually talking to head coach candidates, right? In person. Aaron Glenn, for example. Brian Flores. Josh McCown. Arthur Smith. Matt Nagy. These are all guys that you can't talk to in person until Monday. Inauguration Day. MLK Day. National Championship Day. Jets talking to candidates in person day. So we still got some time. So I think if the Jets are smart, they start these second round GM interviews. And look, you don't want to rush it, but ideally, I think you want to try and get a GM in place by the end of the weekend if you can do it. Now, is it the end all be all if they don't get someone in place by Monday? No, but you don't want to take forever here. Now, I will say this for those being like, they got to hire someone. They got to hire someone. No one's hired anyone yet. The only team that has hired anyone has been the Patriots, and we know why. Because Mike Vrabel was going there the second they fired Gerard Mayo. That felt obvious. We all hoped it wouldn't be true, but in reality, once that job opened up, any chance the Jets had seemingly felt bleak. For what it's worth, I do think if that job didn't open up, the Jets were a legit possibility for Vrabel, but it is what it is. But I think we're entering round 2 of GM interviews. That's my read on the situation. No one's told me that, but that's just kind of how I feel this is playing out. The Raiders still need a GM. They haven't hired anyone. Tennessee's the other team that needs a GM. So there's 3 GM openings around the league, and we already know what Tennessee's plans are. One of their candidates they're talking to for a second time, by the way, is Mike Borgonzi. And I know there's a lot of Jet fans out there who look at Borgonzi's resume with the Chiefs and think he might be the most qualified GM candidate they spoke to that has not been a GM in the past. It's very tough to get a second chance at being a general manager. It's way easier to get a second chance as a head coach than it is to be a GM. But if I'm picking my quote-unquote finalists, and look, we're not in the interview room, so we don't know who stood out, who said what. I'm someone who would be open to bringing Rodgers back for another year. Would that disqualify a candidate if Woody Johnson is so dead set on moving on from Rodgers, for example? I don't know. We know Woody Johnson said Aaron Rodgers' future will be decided by the next Jets regime. So when that question's asked to a member of that regime potentially, what did they say in the interview room? And does their answer enhance their chances of a second interview or potentially disqualify their chances of a second interview? That's the question we don't know. We're not in the room. We know Mike Tannenbaum's in the room. We know Rick Spielman's in the room. And I am curious how Chris Spielman did. He's never been a GM before, but he's been with the Lions the last several years, was reportedly instrumental in the hirings of their front office and their head coach. Brad Holmes, the GM, Dan Campbell, the head coach. So I wonder, would a Spielman hire be possible? And here's the other question you have as well. There's been rumblings of this, but it's not official. It's not like the Jets themselves have said this. Are the New York Jets going to make 2 front office hires? A general manager and a president of football operations. Now, you could maybe title it something different, but those are the questions that you have. Are they going to hire just one GM? Or are they maybe looking to hire, an experienced former GM that'd be like a president of football ops? Let's say hypothetically that would be Thomas Dimitroff, for example. Scouting background, GM of the Falcons for all those years, leaves football, runs a sports analytics company, the last 3, still intimately involved in the game. And if you watch my interview with him around this time a year ago almost at Radio Row in Las Vegas, he's still connected to the game. Could they hire him in this scenario? And under him is one of these guys with a, contract background, like Mike Greenberg, who's like the contract whiz kid of Tampa, grew up a Jets fan. Tannenbaum hired him as an intern. I think Rich Cimini described him as like a mini Tannenbaum. Would Mike Tannenbaum covet Mike Greenberg as the GM, and then a president of football operation is Thomas Dimitroff, or, is it Ray Farmer, who's been a GM before, wasn't great, but now is doing a great job based on all the reporting out there and is intimately involved in a lot of the Rams draft selections. Like Joe Douglas, I think, was not a terrible drafter. It wasn't perfect. He drafted Zach Wilson. We know that. But all the other options in that class weren't great either. He drafted Mekhi Becton. We know that. But no GM bats 1,000. But overall, it's not like Douglas was the worst drafter ever. My issues with Joe Douglas were way more, well, the guy just didn't have a feel for how to put together a team. Didn't show enough urgency with a backup quarterback or the kicker this year, and didn't understand how to manage the defensive line. But that's not drafting guys, right? I mean, he hit on Will McDonald, who he drafted. Like, Joe Douglas would probably be better as someone who's just in a front office evaluating talent. Do the Jets want, like, a GM who's good with contracts, and you have some faith he'd be able to hire a really good scouting and, front office staff, finding a guy like a Joe Douglas type to work with? Yeah, that's the question you have here. What is the process? We know they've interviewed now 15 GM candidates. Everyone the Jets have requested that we know of after yesterday with Gain and now Eric Sullivan have spoken to the team. So where do we go from here? I think it's now round 2 interviews. But the question I want to know, are we hiring one front office guy or 2? Carolina hired 2 last year. They hired a GM, and I forget what the official title was for the other guy, but he was basically like an analytics guy that joined the football scouting guy. And the 2 of them make up the front office. That's the question. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Major announcement I made at the top of the show. In addition to the Garrett Wilson signed helmet, our next raffle, which will be next week, now includes Hall of Famer Joe Klecko's autographed on an authenticated Jets jersey. So Garrett helmet, Klecko signed jersey. It wasn't cheap, but you guys have been awesome, so we're upping the prizes. So shout out to everyone who continues to gift channel membership. Shout out to the Patreon crew, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you want in on the conversation, the Gusbuster hotline is posted in the chat. I'm going to post it again, and you can call in and be a part of the show, and we'll take your calls coming up on that Gusbuster hotline. But I want to know your thoughts, Jeff fans. Feels like round 1 in the books. Which GM candidates intrigue you the most for round 2 as the Jets kind of continue this process? I'll quickly hit on the names from yesterday because, I talked more broadly about this process instead of the specific candidates in Gain and John Eric Sullivan. Based on what I've heard about Sullivan, he's highly respected, which, that's what you always hear, right? Highly respected. But, Packer fans say that this guy has been a key lieutenant to Brian Gutekunst, who's done a good job drafting and, rebuilding the Packers on the fly. So Eric Sullivan would be coming over from a successful front office, which is intriguing. I don't know what it would mean for like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'd imagine he knew him. Would he be pro move on from Rodgers because he moved on from him in Green Bay? But it wasn't him moving on. It was the Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. But how involved was John Eric Sullivan in that? How involved was he in the Jordan Love selection? Like, I don't know. I don't have that info. That's, I'm sure, some of the questions they ask a guy like John Eric Sullivan in these interviews. Like, hey, what was your role with this? What did you think of this at the time? So I don't know, but I do know he's a qualified candidate. Other teams requested him, so cool. No problem with that. And then Brian Gain I could speak to because I know the man personally. Brian Gain got a raw deal with the Houston Texans. He was brought in, handpicked by Bill O'Brien to be the general manager after Bill O'Brien won a power struggle with the former GM of the Houston Texans, Rick Smith. So Rick Smith gets fired. Him and Bill O'Brien don't see eye to eye. O'Brien wins the power struggle. Now O'Brien is essentially like Belichick for the Texans, right? The Texans were always at that time copying the Patriot way we used to talk about. It got so bad down in Houston that Cal McNair, the owner of the team, once said at a press conference, "We do not consider ourselves the Patriot South," but you kind of were. So Gain comes in, he gets one draft, and Bill O'Brien, whatever reason, doesn't see eye to eye with him. Jack Easterby is there. He's the former character coach of the Patriots. He's basically a preacher. He gets a say in the front office. One thing leads to another, and Brian Gain is gone. Like, Brian Gain didn't even get 2 seasons as an NFL GM. He was qualified for the job, right? He was certainly given, the opportunity to be a GM, but then he gets there and he abruptly gets fired on June 7th, 2019. Like, remember the Jets fired McCagnon in late May, and it's like, what the hell? And then a month after that, Brian Gaine gets fired by the Texans after one season as the GM. And it was completely unfair because you can't really judge his body of work. He barely got there. And I could tell you, I don't know, just knowing what was going on then when I was in Houston, I don't know if Gaine had the ultimate say on some of those drafts. Now, his first draft, if you look back on it in 2018 with the Texans, it wasn't good. 2019, not good either. But I'm telling you, I don't think he was that involved in those picks. It was more Bill O'Brien. That's the problem here. So Gaine's an intriguing candidate to me because, one, he played for the Jets as a player in 96. Now, he never played in any games. He was a practice squad player. Played for the Jets, played for the Giants, played for the Chiefs. He was a scout for Parcells and the Jets beginning in 99. He was a scout with the Jets from 99 to 2004. So Parcells' guy, after his tenure with the Jets, Gaine gets hired by Parcells for a role with the Cowboys in scouting from 05 to 07. Gaine follows Parcells to Miami. So Parcells has the utmost respect in the scouting acumen of Brian Gaine. He's also a local guy. So he played for the Jets. Parcells loves him. And he's from Pearl River, New York. And he went to high school at Don Bosco Prep. So, look, I don't know enough about Brian Gaine to sit here and say definitively he can handle the media, he can handle New York, but he grew up here. He's been in the environment. He had to deal with what happened in Houston. He's kind of rebuilt his reputation going back to the Buffalo Bills as the right-hand man for Brandon Beane, one of the best GMs in football there. So, ultimately, I do think that Brian Gaine is an intriguing candidate. You'd have to decipher just how involved he was in those drafts, because if you look at it in 2018 and 19 for the Texans, they weren't great. And but I could tell you, someone doing radio down there, the thought process then was, it's Bill O'Brien and Easterby. I mean, you fired a GM in June. That never happens. So, they'll tell you, oh, Brian Gaine was terrible. We made a mistake. We had to get rid of him. But that's not exactly what was happening, in my opinion. So I think Brian Gaine definitely is an intriguing candidate. We want someone with previous GM experience, right? If you're going to hire Aaron Glenn, who's never been a head coach. Well, I mean, Gaine technically has previous GM experience, but he's still a fresh candidate. And also, when it comes to Parcells, you have Brian Gaine, Parcells guy. Aaron Glenn's a Parcells guy. They still talk. Rich Samini said on his podcast, I think Glenn and Parcells talk once a week, once every other week. I mean, I'll take Rich at face value there. If that's true, then, you got two Parcells guys who'd be running the Jets in this pairing. So I think a Gaine-Glenn pairing is one to watch there if we're breaking it down. But once again, to recap here for those tuning in, I believe we're looking at round 2 of GM interviews this week. And I'm sure throughout the day today, maybe tomorrow, we're going to start to hear about who the round 2 candidates are. Me personally, I really hope Thomas Dimitroff is one of them. If you're going to talk to guys with previous GM experience, I think Brian Gaine should be one of them. You heard me just talk about him now. And the first-timers, I like Mike Borgonzi's resume. I'm intrigued by Mike Greenberg. Alec Hallerby is an interesting name from the Eagles. And people could say, oh, you can't hire anyone from the Eagles front office because of Joe Douglas. You can't live that way. You got to evaluate every candidate on their own. If that was the case, remember, don't draft any Ohio State quarterbacks. Well, you think the Texans regret drafting C.J. Stroud? You got to. There's a saying in scouting: you evaluate the player, not the helmet. That's how you got to evaluate the candidates too. Evaluate them as a candidate and not having preconceived notions. And I'm trying to do that with Aaron Glenn because I do think he's a really good candidate. I just went back yesterday and looked at yesterday's the anniversary, by the way, of the Jets hiring Robert Saleh. So I went back and looked at what I said when they hired Saleh. And I almost played it on the show, but it would be too painful to relive, so I didn't. And everything I said about Saleh is what we're saying about Aaron Glenn. He's going to coach the whole team. He's a leader of men. He's going to fire up the guys. He's going to hold people accountable. Like, these are all the things we're saying about Aaron Glenn. And I like Aaron Glenn. I want to reiterate that. I just am very nervous because I literally went back. Today is the 4-year anniversary of the New York Jets hiring Robert Saleh. And everything I said about Saleh, we could fast forward 4 years later, and we're saying the same things about Aaron Glenn. The same things. And I understand they're different candidates. They have different backgrounds. But that's what scares me. And once again, I got to take my own advice. You got to evaluate each candidate based on them and not have preconceived notions. But that's where I'm at right now. Hit the like button if you haven't. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. If you're tuned in late, we are about 40 subscribers away from 41K. Unreal. To celebrate 41K, I have added the Joe Klecko autographed, authenticated jersey that I will be mailing to you to our upcoming raffle next week. So 2 prizes for the next raffle, the Garrett Wilson signed helmet, the Joe Klecko signed jersey. Let's go, Jet fans. Gift memberships. Hit the like button. Get your super chats in. Let's get to your calls now. But first, let's acknowledge Thomas Roseman dropping a 1 spot for the people. Boom. And how about our guy, King and Dreams? 5 memberships for the people. Bang! Bang! K&D gifted these memberships to the following listeners. Jack Knight, BP York, Jose Oliveros. Shout out to you, Jose. We talked about the Don Jose meetup recently on the show. Shout out to Don Jose Mexican Restaurant in Jersey. Dan Krumanacher, Matt LaMontagne, all just received channel memberships. All right, hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. K&D says, gang. Thank you, K&D. Fake Beastbreaker account writes in, I'll crush you. Once again, folks, the only Beastbreaker account that's real is StormRocks877. And Beastbreaker writes in, I see a lot of rookies on here. Everything else is a fake. Don't fall for the fake Beast accounts out there. Leon writes in, my finalists of the interviews are GM Gain, Newmark, and Borgonzi. All 3 are very interesting. I like Dimitrov. Ozempic. Hey, Beast, would you go on a weight loss program with me? Ozempic BBB. Interesting. Yeti says, love the hat. Is that like a captain's hat rope around the front? Yes, it's a rope hat. Shout out to Gotham City crew. They do an amazing job as always. Daniel Bloom with a super chat. Woody acting like he's the smartest guy in the room, not even requesting interviews with McCarthy or Carroll, isn't a good sign during this process. You know my thoughts. They should be talking to McCarthy. They should be talking to Carroll. And they should be talking to John Gruden. I don't know how many times I could say it. I think it's short-sighted to not do so. I like what they've done with the GM interviews. The only name I thought they talked to that I'm surprised they haven't is Ray Agnew from the Lions. But I don't know if anyone has requested Ray Agnew. I figured he'd get a ton of interviews. Maybe he quietly told people he didn't want to leave. He's a bit of an older candidate. Maybe he's just like, I'm good in Detroit. I want to stay here. My family's happy here. But Agnew's son is a scout in the Jets front office. So, maybe he was scared away by Joe Douglas getting fired and everything that transpired. I don't know. But I don't think Ray Agnew's been requested by other teams that have openings. So he's the only name I thought of that I was like, why didn't they request him when they are talking already to Chris Spielman, who is a part of that front office and is the brother of Rick Spielman? I mean, we'll see. Obviously, they got to get these right. And I don't love that they haven't talked to McCarthy yet. I mean, the Raiders put in a request to speak with McCarthy for next week. Why can't the Jets? I don't get it. All right, Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is open. All calls sponsored by Gusbuster. If you go to gusbuster.com, you could purchase the best umbrella in the universe. And you could use the promo code Jake so you'll get 15% off on any of your umbrellas. First up today is Jason in Jerusalem. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jake. Looking at the GM candidates, what are your thoughts on Jim Nagy?
Jim Nagy, to me, is a very intriguing candidate because of his background in scouting and what he does with the Senior Bowl. I wonder if he's someone that would be like kind of what I was talking about. Like he'd be hired to the front office in a role where he would maybe help like an analytics guy or a cap guy in Greenberg with the player evaluation portion of the role. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you're talking about a wide-ranging search, that's why I wonder if there's maybe 2 hires coming to the front office.
I hear that, and I agree with that. Would that be an improvement for him to leave the head of the Senior Bowl to be assistant analytic guy on the Jets or head of analytics department.
Well, he wouldn't be analytics. He'd be in scouting. Like he'd be evaluating players.
I mean, that's what he's doing already, but he's already doing that. It seems like to be the head of the Senior Bowl, wouldn't moving over to this a team's scouting department be a step down, or you view that as a sidestep or even a step up?
I think it's a step up, to be honest with you. I think it's a step up. And also I think it will pay more too. Like you got to make it worth his while. That's what your plan is.
Obviously, to me, it reminds me a bit of when the Mets hired the agent to be their GM. Was it Brody Van Wagen or whatever his last name was?
Yeah, Brody Van Wagen. Yep.
Yeah, and then signed Cespedes to that albatross of a contract. But I digress. But yeah, it's interesting. I do like the idea, but I kind of want like a former player to do that, kind of like Dan Morgan in, a Dan Morgan, a John Lynch, somebody like that to to oversee everything. I don't want just Woody and Jaime running everything, but somebody who knows the game from the field level, pull the strings, kind of like what Elway did in Denver for a
Well,
period of time,
if you look at what Carolina did a year ago, so they hired Brant Tillis as their new EVP of football ops,
right?
and the football executive management team is led by the president of football ops slash their GM Dan Morgan, who they hired. So they made two front office hires. It's why I kind of think that could be coming for the Jets. No one's told me that, but I don't think you interview 15 GM candidates unless your plan is to potentially hire two people, if that makes sense. Because they've interviewed 15 people of all sorts of backgrounds. That doesn't scream to me like you're only going to make one hire. Like Tennessee is already on round two. I think they only interviewed maybe like 6 candidates and they cut it down to 3 or 4. I got to look what it specifically is, but like that's why I think they're going to hire two people for the front office.
What the difference in Tennessee is that they already have a head coach in place. So somebody who's saying, oh, "This is who I want to work with. This is the type of person I want to work with." The Jets have a clean slate, so they might as well look all around. Just hope they don't go completely cap guy like they did with Itzik and the disaster that was.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like given where they're at right now, it's going to be interesting to see what the second round looks like. Like, just how many go from 15 to a second round? Like, are you going to go from 15 to 3, 15 to 5? Like, how many are going to get a second chance?
So Sullivan and Gain intrigue me. I mean, I'm reading a bit about Sullivan. It is very intriguing what he's doing in Green Bay. Green Bay's had tremendous drafts lately, as opposed to Grigson and his track record. But I agree with you. If you're going to have somebody at the head, I want somebody with experience on that. And Dimitrov really is the one who speaks to me for that.
I agree. I think
Who else would you
Dimitrov,
want?
with previous experience,
Yeah, to be the head, be above the GM, like the president of football operations.
Chris Spielman. I mean, he just did it for the Lions, basically. I think maybe he wants a broader role with the Jets.
Ray Farmer, you'd go for?
Ray Farmer is interesting because he's been a GM. It wasn't great, but he was in Cleveland, so there's context there because it's Cleveland. And
And who?
look at the Rams drafts, and he's apparently very involved in that with Les Snead.
And would you keep the? I forgot who is it. Dorsey's currently the interim GM.
Dorsey. No,
Who's the
Dorsey's
Jets'
not
current
the.
interim?
Oh, you're talking about Phil Savage?
No, Savage. Sorry, I confused which former Cleveland guy.
Yeah,
Um,
if they kept Phil Savage on, I don't have a problem with that. He's been a GM before. He's a good dude. I think no one has a bad thing to say about Phil Savage. I think he's been in a variety of different roles. Yeah, if they kept Phil Savage in the front office, that's fine with me.
but you wouldn't want to be an overseer.
I would not want him to be the overseer. No, I want some. He's been around too long. I want some fresh blood in that front office.
Which former player would you want to be the overseer? I know Curtis Martin came out and said, give him the role, and he wants to help clean up the franchise.
I
Which
don't think
former player do you
he
trust?
didn't say
Something
that.
like that.
Curtis Martin did not say that. He did not say that at all. Gary Meyer suggested Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin hasn't
Oh,
said anything.
my apologies to Curtis Martin publicly.
I don't think you need a former player, Jason. I don't think it needs to be a former player. I think if you hire Thomas Dimitroff and pair him with Mike Greenberg, that's a good looking front office to me. Or if you hire Dimitroff with Gain, that's intriguing to me. Or if you hire Dimitroff with Hallerby, that's intriguing to me. Right, the football guy with experience with
Right.
the analytics guy, like that. That's kind of what I could see. Or maybe it's Ray Farmer with Mike Borgonzi, or it's I don't love Grigson. But if Grixon's not the GM and he's like a part of a front office, I like it a little more. But they have options. I think that's where it's headed when you interview 15 guys.
Would you take Greenberg if he insisted on Liam Cohen to be the head coach?
Would I take Greenberg if he wanted Liam Cohen? I want them to talk to Cohen. I'm surprised they haven't requested him. Maybe he said he doesn't want to take the interview. He wants to stay in Tampa for one more year.
And by the way, I mean it's getting press, but what New England did to circumvent the Rooney Rule was an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace to the sport. And good for Aaron Glenn for sticking up and saying, I'm not going to go and sit down for an interview because he knew it was a sham.
Yeah, 100%. He got a lot of respect around the league, I heard, for that.
And the only way the league could stop this if they literally just say no hiring until after the Super Bowl. I don't know if you can get away with that, but it really was just a disgrace. You get two people who are out of the league and say, okay, we'll interview them. I mean, why not interview Herman Edwards and Art Shell?
Herman, I asked Herman if he wanted to get back in, Jason, and he said he had his fun. I jokingly asked him that on the radio about 2 weeks ago. Good call. It'll be interesting to see what they do. It's a fascinating week coming up here for the Jets. Joshua with a super chat. He chimes in. BB666, greatest moment was getting a stink face from Rikishi at the Super 8 Hotel in 98. Joshua, thank you very much. Fiore with a super chat. Arthur Smith, son of the FedEx billionaire, interviews tomorrow. Woody loves him. Interviewed for a head coach 2 times now. NOC last year. Crazy that he has a more likely shot than people realize. Scary stuff. If they hire Arthur Smith, you're going to have a half-full building on opening day in 2025. Let's call it for what it is. I will root for Arthur Smith the same way I rooted for Adam Gase originally. And then once it became clear in 2020 that that team sucked and was going nowhere, once they lost to Brett Rippon on Thursday Night Football that year and fell to 0-4, I went from rooting for the Jets to vehemently rooting against them, which I've never done before. And it was a nightmare I never want to go through again, but that was the best thing for the franchise, let's be real. But if Arthur Smith gets hired, I don't care who the GM is, you're going to have a half-full building. Especially if the plan is to move on from Rodgers and Arthur Smith comes in, you're going to have a half-full building. You can't hire Arthur Smith. I know they spoke to him about a role on the coaching staff a year ago, but he turned the Jets down because he had a chance to be an OC over not getting the OC title with the Jets because that had to still go to Hackett, but basically being involved in the offense. And they ended up basically doing that with Downing anyway because Saleh wanted to fire Hackett, but then he got fired. So Oberg demoted Hackett and made Downing the OC. And I didn't think Downing was terrible. If you told me Downing, by the way, is back and as a quarterback coach, I will not hate that, but that's besides the point. If Arthur Smith gets hired, I mean, look, I don't love Matt Nagy either, but give me Matt Nagy over Arthur Smith. I mean, Matt Nagy at least had a winning record in Chicago, went to the playoffs. Arthur Smith in a brutal division. I know he didn't have a quarterback, but he only won 7 games each year. That division stinks. Their offense was horrible. If you played fantasy football and had a Falcons player, you were infuriated by just how they didn't use their talent. Like they had all these good offensive players. They couldn't find ways to innovatively get them the ball. If you watch the Steelers in the second half of the year, you want that as the play caller, head coach? I'm good. Arthur Smith, I'll give him this. Heck of a mustache, but I don't want him to be the head coach. Tyler writes in, unleash the beast. Look, folks, I put him on, you say take him off. I don't put him on, you want him unleashed. I'll make a deal. I go in order on this show. But if you gift 5 memberships or send a $20 super chat, we'll move Beast to the front of the line. There's a few people in front of him, so if you want the Beast unleashed, I now give you an opportunity because I'm a Capel fish. Plus, I saw someone did write in, how did we join the raffle for the Klecko jersey? You gift 5 memberships or send in a $20 super chat if you want the autographed Joe Klecko jersey. But that said, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton. What's up, Kyle?
I knew you'd come around to my guy Nagy, Jake.
If that's what you want to call it.
So, I'm looking around the league, and I'm looking at how other teams are structured, right, or what's going on with them. The Raiders, 15. I think it's 15 coaches since the year 2000. You look at Tennessee, they fired their GM after 1 year. They kept their assistant GM and then promoted him to president of football operations because he's got a business background. And now they're going through a GM search, right? And they're keeping the coach in place. He's got a corporate business background, so as well as football. So he's got a very diverse Chad Brinker. There are many ways to skin a cat. I think the best process for us, even though you're hearing all these rumors about Flores and Glenn being at the forefront of the coaching search and having the most and they might well have had the best, but until you get a GM in place in the next week or so, and they get their say in it, it doesn't really matter how much they've wooed this consultant committee. Once we hire a GM, whether it's Borgonzi or whether it's Nagy or Gain or Newmark or whoever, you bring them into the committee, and I think the best way to do it is to send Woody out of the room and then go back to him with your findings at the end. Right? So if Borgonzi starts banging the table for Spagnuolo, and you'll note that after he was interviewed, they brought in Spagnuolo for an interview.
It's true.
Or Newmark, and you note after he was interviewed, they brought in Witt for an interview. Right? And I don't know if it's just for a DC role or a role in the coaching staff, or this guy is a future head coach you might want to, ask some questions of now. I don't know any of that. But once our new GM gets in the room with the consultant committee, goes through all these guys, and makes a decision based on their recommendations, they take it to the owner, and he has final veto power, right?
That's what I hope happens.
That's what I hope. That's the way this should work.
Should work, not
right.
necessarily will work with the Jets.
Right, but you'd also hope that Woody would use that veto power very judiciously, and he would be reticent to use it, right? Like he's going to take the recommendations of the people that he's put together to kind of do this search. That's the way in business this would work. And I understand football is a game, but for us who are running out of time, it's becoming less of a game. Let's get a winner. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate it, man. I'm tired of losing too. It's sickening. It's sickening how bad this team has been. It's unreal. Joe M writes in, hire the beast. It's unreal, man. You people are unbelievable. We've never seen a polarizing figure quite like Beastbreaker 666. Let's say hello to AJ. He's next. Hey, AJ.
Hey, Jake. I've got a couple things for you. One, breaking news from Rappaport and Schefter. A potential front runner for the Cowboys job is Robert Saleh. Quick fire. How you feel about it?
That's not true.
Yes, it is. They're interviewing him this upcoming week, and he's believed to have strong opportunity to land the job.
Cowboys have interest and are expected to interview former Jets coach Robert Saleh for vacant head coach position. Would be their first known request. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that he's going to be their coach.
It doesn't necessarily mean that, no, but my question is, how would you feel about Saleh in Dallas? Because I could already see the headlines.
I love it. The Jets play the Cowboys. That'd be great.
All right, fair enough.
I'll take my chances against Saleh. Hopefully they come out flat in the first quarter and the Jets could build a 17-0 lead.
True. Very true. Number two.
That doesn't make him the favorite, though, AJ. You know that. And also, I hate to say this, but it's true. Like, the Cowboys are limited with who they could talk to because they moronically waited as long as they did. So they can't even talk to anyone in person that they haven't already requested or spoke to virtually until after the Super Bowl in some cases. So I'm sure they want to get a head start on the Rooney Rule, and Robert Saleh is a minority candidate. So I'm sure he's a candidate for them. I'm not disputing that. Right? He interviewed for Jacksonville and the Raider job too, but I don't think he's going to get that job. There's no way.
Fair enough. Jerry Jones has grossly mishandled things there for decades now. So we'll see what direction they go. That hire would not shock me. Why I called in today, I like your idea of bringing in multiple guys to the front office. And I hope that's the reason that they've gone out and interviewed 15 candidates. But this has not been reported. This is sheer speculation. My fear throughout this process that I'm surprised no one has talked about is as we continue to see these names like Mike Loxley and head coach and GM, both sides, just interviews piling up. Do you think that that could be because we're not enamored with anyone that we've interviewed to this point, Jake? I feel like from a hiring perspective, if you interviewed multiple people that you deemed fit for the job, they don't continue to cast this net so wide to guys that are not even getting looks to make the jump up to a better team at the D1 level. So I'm concerned that this 33rd team and Woody are really disappointed in what they've seen through the interview process.
I'll tell you why I don't think that's the case, because they haven't even requested some of the best candidates. Haven't even spoken to Mike McCarthy yet. Haven't even spoken to Pete Carroll. I think the Loxley one was done as a favor, right? His agent is, I looked into it, is Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy Sexton's one of the more powerful agents. I think he represents Aaron Glenn too, or Flores, one of them. So I think it's just favor time. Get Loxley's name in there. If he gets fired by Maryland, he could point to the fact, oh, he was looking to leave anyway. He interviewed for the Jet job last year. He's trying to get back into the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that you could add to a resume down the line if you're a candidate in coaching. Like, it's all playing a game, doing favors for each other. So I think that's what that was. Or maybe he'd leave Maryland if he knows he's going to get fired, and he'd be the Jets, quarterback coach, or, I don't know what his specialty is, but that's what I think that is. I wouldn't look at it like, oh, they interviewed Mike Loxley because they weren't impressed with the initial candidates, because they haven't even spoken to some of the best candidates.
I really hope that's the case. I just have watched the Jets for long enough now to know how inept this team is typically run. I think that they don't realize those are some of the best candidates, Jake. I really don't. I'm getting more concerned with the process as time goes by, not because they're taking their time like some fans are worried about. I don't have a problem with the fact that Tennessee is beating us to second interviews for their general manager position. What I do have a problem with is, as you mentioned, some of the names still on the market that they haven't, at least to our knowledge, requested an interview with when they're supposed to be casting the widest net in NFL history for a head coaching search. To me, that's a major red flag on multiple levels. One, that they may not be enamored with the options they have in place. And two, that Woody Johnson and company are so inept that they won't even give Mike McCarthy a look.
Or maybe some of these guys just said straight up no, and it hasn't gotten out yet. I mean, I don't know. Mike McCarthy would take an interview here in 5 seconds. That to me makes no sense. I think Pete Carroll would too. Yeah, honestly, just from a leverage standpoint, he'd be smart to take another interview. Like, then you have 3 of the now 5 vacant openings that have spoken to you. Like, that's good for
4.
business. Or 4, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes zero sense. Liam Cohn's another name who I'd at least like to get into the building. I think there's solid names on the list that have been interviewed. And really, until somebody gets hired, your guess is as good as mine. It's as good as Beast Breakers, anyone who wants to try to take a stab at who the Jets are going to go with and what direction. Uh-oh. He looks ready to go today. That was a jump scare. But I think that whichever direction that we end up heading, I'm just hoping that, as you mentioned, we're casting this wide net to bring in multiple people in the front office. And from a coaching perspective, whoever gets brought in, I hope that they're able to bring in a competent staff around them, because in my lifetime, that's something that we haven't had.
AJ, well said. It's, we're evaluating in real time, but I will continue to say I will withhold judgment till we see the final results. They end up with Borgonzi and Glenn. It'd be tough to criticize the Jets. They end up with Dimitrov and Flores. I think it'd be tough to criticize the Jets. If they hired an experienced GM candidate and it's McCown, but McCown has this great plan for a coaching staff, I think you're more open to it. Like, there's still a lot of things they could do that would excite the fan base. But I could tell you, if they hire Arthur Smith, there's going to be a half-full building for week 1. There just is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beast is on the line, but I'm worried. He just says that he's going to unleash. Beast, we don't need crazy Beast. We're worried about your heart. I want Beast to be calm, make some coherent points, some salient points, as I like to say. Beast just wrote in, I mean it, I'm going to scream. There's fake accounts of my name. Beast, they're trolling you. Don't let them win. Don't let them win, Beast. If you acknowledge them, you let them win. FPP Super Chat says, John Eric Sullivan for GM. Now, you're a Packer fan, FPP. What do you like about John Eric Sullivan? You're a lot closer to it than we are. He has a great reputation, but what do you know about Sullivan that you think he's a good candidate? Kyle writes in, we want you to be the beast you can be. Beast just wrote in, okay, I'm going to stay calm. All right. he says he's going to stay calm. And who am I to not believe the beast?
Beast Breaker 666, he's the man who would kick your ass, and then he'd gabagoo.
Hey, Beast.
Good morning, radio. Right now, we're playing a song called Dancing with the Gypsy from 1989. There's a bunch of fake people on here I'm going to yell this one time. I'm going to say this calmly. No more fake accounts. Enough. I'm going to come after whoever's that Beast Breaker in 666. Whoever that is, come expose yourself right now. Get over here and expose yourself. Castro, I don't want nothing to do with you today. Get out of my face. Get out of my goddamn face. I mean it. Enough. I'm not going to scream and yell today. And enough of this crap. Fuck you, big fella. You suck dick.
Now look what you've done. Beastbreaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here, we'll feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
give him another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bending over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Down goes Beastbreaker. A bounty was set. The standard 10. We might have to raise the bounty for Beastbreaker specifically. It's become too easy to get rid of him. And he was being calm. He was calm. He didn't even go nuts on Peter Castro. That was the best we've seen, Beast. He didn't flip out like he normally does on Castro. Man, big fella, why'd you got to ruin the fun? Ladies and gentlemen, 10 memberships from the big fella. We're still gifted, though, and that's what it's all about. Bang! Bang! If you hear your name called, you are a channel member. And big fella, that's 10 raffle entries for you. Charlie Boy, TY91, Sylv, Wrong Verb, Sebastian D'Amico, Greg GCTC, Carlton Green, Kyle, Sean McAteer, Frosty Taco, all receiving channel memberships from the big fella. If you want Beast revived from the hole, 10 memberships will bring him back. And regardless who tries to then send him to the hole, I'm protecting him for at least 1 full minute so my man can make his points, because we're still a show of free speech around here. If the Cowboys hire Robert Saleh, Blitz BK writes in, Boy Green's dad will have a heart attack. Good. I like Boy Green, but if his dad has to deal with Robert Saleh coaching the Cowboys, I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more. Because when it comes to talking about the Jets, Boy Green's father, I believe, does a horrendous job because he can't get over the fact that he irrationally hates Aaron Rodgers. And I'll never forgive Boy Green's father for that. I like Boy Green. His father, he has a major case of Rodgers derangement syndrome.
Hey, everybody. It's your buddy Aaron here, live via satellite from Egypt. We have a special guest today, Paul Boy Green's father, who's a regular at our RDS Institute. What's on your mind, Papa Green?
Now that we know where he boondoggled off to, I would just tell you that I have been on 3 of the greatest teams in the history of the United States. I've been on 3 nuclear-powered submarines, 4 deployed in times of crisis. And do you believe that anyone on that team would have said, today I'm going to Egypt on vacation? If someone asked him, are you okay with Paul Esdin going to Egypt instead of being
for 3 weeks?
For being forward deployed?
3 weeks. Yeah.
Are you okay with that? And what would they have told the microphone? No, we're fine with that. But do you think they would have been fine with that? The answer is no.
Okay. guessing you have at least 16 booster shots or so. I sympathize with your struggles. Thanks for your service to our great country, sir. But you do realize that I missed 2 practices and around 30 or so total plays in shorts. No pads, right? Not sure if comparing that to saving lives and defending the country is reasonable. Some would say that we play a game not much different than chess or Monopoly, but with gambling in a ball shaped like Stewie Griffin's head. Not to fear, I'll be back day 1 in July for Jets fans and all that care. So don't you fear. We're going to shock the world this year. Go Jets.
Sad. Look at all these fake Beastbreaker accounts. Stormrocks 877. I'm seeing that. Beastbreaker 666. Stormrocks 877 Junior. You people are sick. You're sick. Big fell with a super chat. The preemptive Beast ban was because he was playing music that can get you copyrighted. Well, I'll tell you what, it was very muffled and wasn't loud enough, but I appreciate it, big fella, but I wasn't concerned. But I know what you were doing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's try and bring on a voice of reason on this show, get his thoughts on the state of affairs, on the Jets, and on the latest drama involving Beastbreaker 666. Let's say hello right now to the great David T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
David, what happened to your forehead?
Oh, I got a list. I was trimming with the trimmers and got a little carried away. Got into my forehead there. Just a little cut, little scratch.
Oh my goodness. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
I got to ask these questions now because, obviously Gary just casually mentioned that he got hit by a car yesterday. So, you never know what's happening with the Asmaniacs.
Yeah, I know. We're I'm glad to say, I guess, a select group.
Give us a little moonwalk.
I can't. I got the ankle. Oh, do you not know what happened?
No. Did something happen recently?
Yeah, when I was in New York, I got hit by a car.
Is there security footage of this? Can I play it on the show?
So they would probably have the footage. I mean, what am I going to do with it now?
Gator's already working on a production of this. So
I think that's why I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm going to play a drop, and then that's your cue to make a face like you got hit by a car. You ready?
All right, I'll do it.
Here we go. Ready? And Gator writes in, can he throw the headset off and vomit?
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
You could have died.
But I didn't.
All right, Jake, I'm going to fess up to you because I'm so dedicated to this show. I was going to the bathroom last night and I actually fell backward.
Oh no!
And somehow on the way down, I hit the door hinge or something, and that's how that occurred. And fortunately, when you fall, if you fall right, you're going to be okay. You don't break anything or whatever. But I wasn't going to say, but you know what? I got to be perfectly honest with you. But I'm fine.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, David, but that is concerning. Hopefully you get better grip with your feet or something. I don't know. What caused the fall?
Well, I'm on with my chest thing going on, and my infection. I'm on antibiotics, and now I'm taking cough medicine, and I'll be honest with you, I drink a few beers.
A little tipsy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. My mother always used to say, "You always get caught in a lie." So, to be perfectly honest with you, so that could have been contributing factor. So I gotta get my shit together, as they say.
Boomtown made a good point here. This was a great opportunity for you to say you should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, my age, that would have been a treat. You know what I mean?
Jack says the
That's funny.
T in David's name stands for tough. David Tough.
Well, my father was one of the smartest, toughest guys I've ever known, and my brother and I, we're not boasting or anything, but we do have some of his traits. He brought us up to be, have a good heart, but life is tough, and who knows what you're going to face in life.
It's well said, David. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Hopefully that cut heals quickly. All right.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm fine. It's just it'll be fine.
I believe in you, David. Hang in there. All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David, feel better, man. What a turn of events. Gary's hit by a car. David T's fallen. Somehow fell backwards, but the front of his face is beat up. Man. I mean, these accounts for Beastbreaker just are nonstop. Storm Rocks 877 Jr. You guys have to understand, my dad has been going through a lot. He's on serious meds and has been very dedicated to being an asset to the Jake Asman show. My dad is passionate about the Jets. Well, I can tell you, Storm Rocks, you're a fraud. You're not the beast. There's only one beast. Get a clue. You bum. I'm going to boo your ass out of town. Gator writes in, I like David T too much to make a cartoon of his drunken fall. I like David T a lot. I just hope he doesn't fall again. Can we give some love to Gator? Gator's been on a heater with the Beastbreaker intros and the whole video. And now this.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm going to go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
I mean, come on now. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some heavy hitters on the line, so stay tuned for that. I got to check in with this guy. He's the reason why the Beast was sent to the hole already. Big fella, you're next. Hello, big fella.
Hey, man. Yeah. I didn't want you to get copyrighted, first of all.
I think we would have been okay, but I do appreciate you looking out.
Yeah. Also, he told me yesterday he was going to knock my teeth down my throat, so I didn't feel bad doing it, So
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He has just commented from the hole here. Big fella, you're an asshole.
That's okay. I'll shove that Louis up his asshole, and then.
What would it take for him to be granted freedom?
I don't know. Maybe he could apologize for being an asshole yesterday, and that's probably one thing.
He just wrote, "I will destroy you, big fella." I don't know if we're getting that promise or that apology.
Oh, it's too funny. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about Aaron Glenn actually, because I know you're kind of nervous about Aaron Glenn, but you really can't compare him to Robert Saleh.
I just went back and watched what I said about Saleh. It's to a T what we're now saying about Glenn. Like literally to a T. I might pull the video from the afternoon show. Literally, it's 4 years to the day they hired Saleh.
Yeah, I mean, but they're two totally different guys. It's kind of not fair to compare the two. I mean,
they are. I'm just saying that's why I lean with Flores, because he's been a head coach before and had success.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, if you want to bring Beastbreaker on to talk to me about that, about getting back on, I'm more than happy to do that.
I want at least 5 memberships because you paid good money for that. I want it to be at least worthwhile.
No, I know. I'm just saying so he could, he could explain himself why he would say something like that yesterday.
All right, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, express verbal consent just happened on this show from the big fella. So we say hello to the Beast.
Holy crap, here comes Beastbreaker 666. Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me? Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I might be big, but I'm going to be bad enough to put you out.
Beastbreaker always has some salient points.
What's up, Sunshine? How you doing?
Get on your knees and serve your masters. You're the last person I want to destroy. You know that? I want to take
I
your
am the last person you want to destroy.
You know what? You remind me of that Bobby Beasley asshole from Wisconsin who I ripped apart, and you are the next victim that I'm going to tear apart. I will destroy you, and if I have a heart attack, it's going to be on your ass.
Listen,
any more of this bullshit.
We don't need any of this shit right now.
Hey, screw you. Screw you. I'm a real man and you're a pussy. All you are is a yellow panty, nothing happening, all talk, big bacon.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Listen, I'm not a pussy, bro.
You don't want none of me, kid. I've had enough of jerks like you. You know what? I used to knock assholes like you out in high school, and then I kick them all out from one ear to the other. And then, you know what? Let me just say this. In college, I used to deal with jerk-offs like you and send them packing. So there's one thing you need to learn, Sunshine. Take your 50-cent thrift store ass back to the front line, because let me say this. I shower every day. I shave. I look like a real man. I'm like you jerk. You're a pussy. All you do is hide behind pink panties, yellow panties.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Bro, listen. I came on originally to be nice and everything like that to you.
The
other day,
no.
I said that. Then you said you were gonna knock my teeth down my throat, and then we got an issue, Butterball. We can't have you inciting violence, okay? And by the way,
hey, soy boy.
No.
Soy boy.
Listen, Butterball. We have you.
You can take this to the bank, because I'm not your. Let me say, you're a soy boy. You're a soy boy.
Bro.
You're nothing but fake. You're a clown. You're a big clown. CLOWN clown.
Listen, Tiny. You
come get some then.
You say you're 6'2", 270, bro. I'll stomp you, son.
Kid, the only thing you can stop is a donut when you're shoving it down your throat.
The only thing that's afraid of you is that Italian beef sandwich you're gonna shovel down your gullet, fat boy.
Kid, I'm more man than you. I got more balls than you. I got more championship belts around my waist. At least I got something that you don't have. You don't got nothing that I got. You little soy boy. Hey, how about you go take care of your soy boy TV? I got a real TV. I got a man's TV. I'm like you little pussy. All you guys, your soy boy TV and your soy boy.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
What is a soy boy TV? I can afford
those new little. The new TVs of today. That's what I call soy boy TV.
Let me tell you something. You know what else I can afford? I can afford to ban you every fucking day, bro.
You can afford. You should be kissing my. You should be kissing my ass.
My lips aren't
I'm
that
more
big,
man than you. You know what you are? You're a fake piece of crap. I ought to take you like Bobby Beasley, ram your head through a car windshield, and watch you bleed in blood, because you're a fake. You're nothing but a loser. You're weak. You're simple-minded, and I bet you lick Joe Biden's ass because you're a loser, because you've always been one, and you'll never mount. You're never gonna mount to zero. You're a zero. Zero. You're a zero. You're nothing. You're a loser. I could kick your ass in a pizza eating contest too. I could kick your ass any day of the week. Let me get a bag of weed in me. Let me get some drugs in me, and I'll start kicking the ass. And Peter Castro, hey, you fat.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
You ready to apologize yet?
How about you get on your knees and kiss my ass? You need to learn that I'm not the last man you want to fight with. I'll take you behind the dark alley like LOD and knock your ass right out.
Yeah,
because you know what? Like LOD once said,
you'll go behind the alley and you'll get underneath.
Water rush for you, a bad bum trip for your ass. You're a loser. I'll put you out of commission. I'm a man, and I'm gonna stop you one way or the other. I will knock you out in submission. I am Judas Priest, Dragon Force, Iron Maiden. I will knock your ass right out. Army tanks, combat. Yeah, right. You're a fag. That's all you are. You're a big fag. You know why? You don't know shit about.
Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Dragon Force is the game that they used for Guitar Hero, bro.
Sorry.
They suck ass.
Sorry.
You know, you're a fake ass metal fan.
You know what? You want to see the proof? You want to see all the fucking proof? Hey, asshole! I got 3 goddamn battle jackets I paid for $660. You dirty son of a bitch! You're a little whore. That's all you are. You know what you are? You know what you are? You're a whore. And you know what? I got 2 words for you. You're nothing but a faucet liquor.
And you're a fluffer for friggin' porn films, bro.
You know what you are? You're Peter Castro's sausage stuffer, especially when you stuff it in his ass and walk it dry.
You seem obsessed with picking things up your ass, bro.
Dude, I got balls than you. I got bigger ones than you, and I can take you out back and knock you out.
Oh my god.
You better be scared of me. You're a loser. You're nothing. You're just another nickel and dime person. You know what?
Bro.
In the words of the $1 Million Man, you're just another nickel and dimer, just like the rest of them. That big, petty pension blowhard.
Bro, you're Virgil. You're not money. You're not the.
Yeah, right.
You're Virgil.
I'm Sting, Big Van Vader, Demolition, LOD, the Eliminators, Chris Jericho when he was younger in ECW. You don't know your ass from your elbow. You're just a fake ass wannabe loser.
You're no balls Mahoney. That's what you are. You're zero balls Mahoney.
Yeah, and I seen Balls Mahoney live. Same with Axel Rotten. Yeah, and you know what? I'm proud of that because you know what? ECW was something. Why don't you go back to watching WWE, you little fake clown? You're a big crybaby. Yeah, where? That's what you are. You're nothing but a where? That's what you are.
Mahoney over here. Zero balls Mahoney.
Yeah. You know what you are? You know what you are? You're a Nike sandal faggot who likes taking sausage, ramming up your.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gabagoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, big fella allowed Beast to come out of the hole, and Jimbo has sent him back. Now look what you've done. Beastbreaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here, we'll feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
give him another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bend over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Jimbo, how does this guy still have a fan base? Get this guy off my screen and out of my ears. You're out of here, bozo. See ya. Bum. Choke on that chicken, buddy. Strong words from Jimbo. Jimbo, that's 10 raffle tickets for you, by the way, with this $50 super chat. I'll clarify because I know people watch the show on the phone. If you can't gift memberships from the iPhone. So if you want in on the raffle, you could super chat $20 for 5, 50 for 10. And that's also the equivalent for the bounty as well. So the autographed Klecko jersey and the autographed G5 helmet are the top prizes for our next raffle. Nate writes in, I tell everyone who bothers me these days, they're nothing but a pile of old gabagool. Can't, man. A fake Beastbreaker account says, you haven't seen the last of me, you jabronis. Once again, the only real Beastbreaker account is the username StormRocks877. Don't fall for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets West writes in, we need to put some soy boys in the hole for the Beast. Beast Baby says, Jake's lying. We're the real Beast Break. I give a lot of credit to the chat. They know how to troll very well. You got to tip your cap. Jesus Jerry, seasoning in the abyss, non-slayer. Wow. What a turn of events. All right, let's get to more of your calls. Let's quickly hear from K Yeti before we bring on one of the all-time great Asmaniacs. What's up, K Yeti?
Hey, man. How you doing, buddy? Sorry.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Just diffusing a quick fire here at work. Okay, I'll put that down. All right. So, dude, that was funny. I've been wanting to talk to BB, and man, he just dug himself in a huge hole right there. Big fella is one of the nice. Is he in the background still? Can you hear this?
Big fella or Beast?
Well, either one.
Big fella's still here. Yep.
Cool. Is Beast floating around?
Hey, man.
What's up,
Beast
bro?
is in the hole currently, so someone's gonna have to pay to get him out.
Gotcha. Okay, but dude, to come after big fella like that, we're the most genuine dudes in the whole chat.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Of course, dude. And I don't even get it. But like, honestly, you're both into wrestling. You both like metal. If you didn't just come out with just cussing his ass off and throwing you under a bus for no reason, you could be friends.
Yeah, I know. That's what I tried to do originally, but then he started getting like a little angry with me, and then I had to turn to the dark side a little bit.
Yeah, yesterday Neil and Beast became friends. I'm telling you, people could get along with the Beast. We just gotta get them on the right side with people.
Yeah. I had a couple just quick questions I wanted to know, but somebody already beat me to it. Remember that a couple mornings ago, I really wanted to talk to him, and then I think somebody got him on the afternoon and actually asked him like name 10 Jets. Just like name 10 Jets, and he couldn't name them. Yeah, I missed that, but I caught it on the replay. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I had two questions. If you can name 3 quarterbacks other than AR, Zach Wilson, and Namath throughout history, just 3, any 3.
Just Jet quarterbacks?
Just 3 quarterbacks, 3 Jets quarterbacks. And if you can name 2 players or 2 YRs that played with Wayne Corbett other than Keyshawn Johnson. And if you could give me those, then I could say, okay, he's a fan. But he'd rather just cuss and scream and talk about how much of a better metalhead he is than everybody.
How much he wants to take me into a back alley, which is crazy.
And you remind me of that motherfucker from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I don't even know who that is.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right, though.
I don't even know who that guy is.
We got to find out what college he went to. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But cool. Thanks for letting me.
We could have been friends, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Well, big fella, I feel like it was money well spent today. Also, the humble flex you threw out there to him, being like, "I'll pay to ban your ass every day if I have to." That was big time.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I would like to get along more than not. But sometimes it's fun not to get along.
At least you're in the raffle for 10 now. You want if you won, would you prefer the Klecko jersey or the GW helmet? Because what year was your first year following the Jets? Did you watch the Sack Exchange?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been a fan since like '81. So
yeah. So I think you'd pick the Klecko jersey, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I would pick that. Well, actually, no, I picked the Garrett because I have the jersey of the Sack Exchange, the whole thing.
Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, my memorabilia, I haven't gotten to anything from Garrett yet, so we'll see.
Love it.
Beastbreaker, I love you, pal. My little butterball.
Live look at Beast in the hole. He's studying the tape right now.
God.
He's got to get better. He's trying to prepare for his next opportunity. Someone freeze him. We'll go right to him. All right. Listen. 10 memberships or $50 super chat. The return of the Beast.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just be nice.
I agree.
So, just be nice.
I agree. I got a guy on hold, big fella, who's very nice, so you'll love it. Appreciate your call as always. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Gusbuster hotline was the #1 ranked caller by the committee during the month of December. You know who I'm talking about, which means it is time for you and everyone who loves this show to sing along.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. Please, some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, Charles!
Look at that mugshot.
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Good, Charles. How are you?
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in Beastbreaker because he used some derogatory language.
He did. I had
That's
to keep
not
issuing
cool.
the foul language warning. You know, I'd like to keep the show PG-13 if possible, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
I think that needs to be stopped. I do not tolerate derogatory language on my channel. Just letting you know that. In regards to, I know Beastbreaker is very passionate, but he needs to not let every little thing bother him. Trust me, I can relate to that. I've let that thing bother me too. I let things like that bother me too. I know he's got a bad heart condition, which I do pray for. You know, I do pray for his heart to get better. Anyways, Jake, do you know what today is?
The 4-year anniversary of the Jets hiring Robert Saleh?
No, today's my brother's and grandmother's birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday to Steady Eddie Gorman. And happy birthday to Grandma Joe.
Here's my brother Edward. Hello.
Steady Eddie, happy birthday. I can't see you, though. We can't see him. You didn't show him. Lower the phone. We can't. We see a lamppost. There it is.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Ed? How are you?
Good. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Here's Charles now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you doing anything fun for his birthday or for your grandma's birthday, Charles?
Well, my mom's going to be reheating some food for dinner tonight, so we're going to have ziti, sausage, meatballs, that type of stuff.
Ziti?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds incredible. I'm so jealous.
My father's visiting our father's visiting our grandmother right now, but he's probably on his way to work right now, so I'm going to give grandma a call later on after the call. So, as for the head coaching search, I know we want a head coach right now, but I think it's best if they just continue interviewing guys at this point until they find a clear superior candidate. As for who I want as general manager, I wouldn't mind Dimitrov, or hope I said his name correctly, the guy from the Cheech, Borgazzi.
Borgonzi, yep, Mike Borgonzi.
Mark Borgonzi, yeah. And I think I asked my father if he would mind if Aaron Glenn became the head coach. He says no, I wouldn't mind. Aaron Glenn, seems like a good dude. I know he learns a lot from Parcells, who's one of the greatest coaches of all time. One of my dad's personal favorites too. I know it's the 4-year anniversary of the Jets hiring Robert Saleh. I know it was a disastrous hire. It was a disastrous tenure. But we just got to move on. We got to keep moving on, keep being optimistic. I know we haven't had a winner in a long time. We haven't had a winning season since 2015.
Gia writes in, Charles is such a gentleman and is so handsome. Reminds me of a young Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's one of the all-time great actors, and he's not a bad filmmaker either. One of my favorite films of his is Hang 'em High.
I like Gran Torino.
That's my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, actually.
Really?
It's a great movie, in my opinion, yes.
I agree.
It was him and Bruce Willis were my two ideal casting choices for Nick Fury for the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise.
Hey, Charles, Peacebreaker's lawyer just commented, and he writes in, Charles, my client requests that you do your best Chewbacca impression to help him calm down.
I don't know how to do a Chewbacca voice. I don't think I can do it.
You sure?
I'm sure, yeah.
You want to give it a whirl?
That type of stuff, yeah, I suck at it.
Yeah, put a little more oomph into it. You might have something.
Not
bad. Pretty good.
I bet Colin could do it better, though. Anyways, hope you're all having a good day today. Beastbreaker, I understand you're an emotional guy, and we need to lay low on the derogatory. Oh, shit.
He's studying the tape right now. He's in the hole.
Is he mad at me?
No. I think he appreciates what you're preaching.
We need to, like, cut. I know we're so used to saying derogatory words back in the day, but we need to, like, lay low on that. Because, I'm not saying because of political correctness reasons, but we need to, like, be mindful of other people, I say some of that stuff too, and I regret saying it too. So,
Big
anyway,
Fella writes in, Charles, do you like grilled cheese with American cheese or Swiss?
It doesn't matter to me. I love grilled cheese. Period. I don't like eating spicy cheeses. I'm not a spicy eater. I like Swiss. I like Jarlsberg. I like American cheese. I eat cheese. Period.
So you're a big cheese guy, is what you're telling us.
For the most part, yes.
I see. Well, it sounds like you have a great day ahead. A big day in the Gorman household.
Yes, I do. My father's probably at work right now. I want to give my grandmother a call, wish her happy birthday. She's going to be a century next year, guys, so keep your fingers crossed that she can make it there.
Will you ever have her join us as a guest on the show?
That's up to her.
I think it'd be a fascinating conversation with Grandma Joe.
To let you know, she's not a sports fan.
Yeah, it's okay.
She's
I'd love
not
to
a
hear
sports
about her
fan.
upbringing. I'd love to hear about what life was like 100 years ago, how it's changed, what she likes about technology, what she dislikes. I think it'd be interesting.
I'll let her know that, okay?
All right. We'll make her famous. I think it would be incredible.
All right. Peace out, Jake.
Charles, thank you for the time. Happy birthday again to your brother and your grandmother. And Charles left before I could play him out.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
No one is on hold right now. So if you want your voice heard, if you want to weigh in on what we talked about to open the show, with the Jets completing, I believe, round 1 of interviews, 15 candidates with Gain and Eric Sullivan, John Eric Sullivan, the last 2. Now's the time. I think, just to kind of reset for those tuning in late, I believe that we're looking at 2 front office hires by the Jets, a GM and like a football ops guy, or a GM and whatever they want to like word it, like some sort of title where there's 2 people that they're hiring to a front office. I don't think you interview 15 GM candidates to only hire 1 guy. That wouldn't make sense to me. Maybe they're doing it that way. I don't know. Thorough process. I like the candidates for GM a lot better than the coach candidates. Obviously, the Jets are going to speak to Glenn again. They requested Flores. They'll talk to him this week. McCown's a name I like. But no McCarthy, no Carroll, no Gruden. I don't like that. No Liam Cohen. Maybe Monken told him no, but they didn't try that we know of. If someone from the Jets calls me and says they said no, I will get it. That hasn't happened. So until then, all I could do is give my opinion based on what's out there. And I don't like that they haven't spoken to Monken, Kingsbury, or Liam Cohen. Joe Brady's going to interview this week, too. I like Joe Brady. The question with Joe Brady is you got to know, you got to learn, is he ready to be a leader of a football team? He could call a heck of an offense. We know that. It's nice when you have Joe Burrow in college and Josh Allen, but can you be a leader of a football team when you're 35 years old? McVay was able to do it. What was Sean McVay, like 32 when he got hired? Let's check that. I think Sean McVay is still the youngest coach in the league. How old was Sean McVay when he was hired? He was 30 years old. It was 2 weeks shy of his 31st birthday. So, like, there are outliers. Is Joe Brady ready for that type of role? How old is Joe Brady? I believe Joe Brady's 35. Yep, 35. Turns 36 in September. He's a young guy. Very young guy. Super chat from the big fella. Is it possible that we're just waiting of Glenn to be available to be announced? I don't think so, big fella. They haven't even spoken to Flores yet or McCown. I don't think Glenn has been given any indication he's their guy. I think they told him they like him and they're going to bring him in for a second round. But that's not going to happen potentially till the bye week of the Super Bowl if the Lions go that far. Jimbo says, I watch your show all the time. Might make an appearance. Have to call in soon. Hey, click the link. The Gusbuster hotline link is pinned in the live chat so you can call in and get your voice heard. We try to be the most interactive Jet show on the planet. And if you tuned in late, I'll keep saying it because I added the prize this morning. Spent big money because the Asmaniacs are the best. Joe Klecko signed jersey and Garrett Wilson signed helmet. The grand 2 prizes, top 2, and the next Asmaniac raffle. You could super chat $20 for 5 entries, 50 for 10. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Hep is on the line. Hey, Hep.
How you doing, Jake? I'm just curious about Beastbreaker. What's up with the 7-Eleven? Is that like the hot spot in town or something?
What's up with the 7-Eleven? Did
He's always taking.
Did he reference the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, he said he's going to the 7-Eleven to go get your booty and this and the other thing and make you do this and that at the 7-Eleven. I'm just wondering, is that the new hot spot in town, the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I'm still learning a lot about the Beast. You know, every day is a new journey.
Okay, man. Anyway, how many subscribers do you have now? I mean, I remember when you were really just starting out.
Yeah, so it's funny. Salo got hired 4 years ago today. That's when the YouTube show and its current version of it being a live show and not just me posting segments from my radio show or me pre-recording stuff. That's when it became a live interactive show. We didn't start taking calls till about like 6 months in, but I'm at 40,960. So if you haven't subscribed yet, help me get the 41K. There's 387 of you watching. If you're not all subscribed, click the red subscribe button on the right and help me out. Thank you.
Yeah. I remember you starting off in Texas and then you made your way back home. That's great, man. And you're getting on the ESPN all the time. That's awesome, dude.
Thanks, Hep. I appreciate it.
Rooting for you, bud. Peace out.
Hep, great call, man. Yo Holmes says, Gary got hit by a car outside of 7-Eleven. He did. As we learned yesterday. I still can't believe that, by the way. How does Gary so casually just drop on the show that he got hit by a car and thinking that we all knew already? Like, Gary, I don't talk to you every day. I had no clue. Give us a little moonwalk.
I can't. I got the ankle. Oh, do you not know what happened?
No. Did something happen recently?
Yeah, when I was in New York, I got hit by a car.
Is there security footage of this? Can I play it on the show?
So they would probably have the footage. I mean, what am I going to do with it now?
Gator's already working on a production of this. So
I think that's why I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm going to play a drop, and then that's your cue to make a face like you got hit by a car. You ready?
All right, I'll do it.
Here we go. Ready? And Gator writes in, can he throw the headset off and vomit?
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
You could have died.
But I didn't.
He didn't die. And he called in yesterday to let us know once again that the moon landing is fake, which pissed Dave Brigger off incredibly. To the point where I think Dave Brigger, if he ever meets Gary, is just going to punch him in the face on the spot. No questions asked. Just bam! Beast, you know what I mean? Like just bam, boom, bam.
Give me a minute.
Live look at Beast from the hole. Ronnie, thank you, Ronnie. He gifted a channel membership. Ronnie, you're in our raffle for 1. Boom. Let's see who got it. Back Porch Sports is the recipient of the membership. Let's get to some of your calls right now. And by some, I only have one guy on the line who wants in. Philly Noodles is next. What's up, Philly?
Nothing much, man. Just enjoying the fruits of Gary's hatred labor. Some salad.
Oh, be careful, man. It might kill you.
It might. I put some French onions in there. Just mix it all up. You know what I'm saying? Put a little pepper. I'm flirting with disaster. He got hit by a car at a 7-Eleven in Long Island. That would happen. You would go back to New York in life and get hit by a car for all his bad takes. That's New York speaking back to him. To get back to Texas and tell us Jameis Winston should be the quarterback for the Jets. No, that sucks though. Beast Breaker taking record of what he's saying and what he's doing and the way he's doing it is hilarious. It's like
studying the tape.
Yeah, we're gonna see like an ultimate Beast Breaker at one point where he's like nonstop. He curses, but then he doesn't curse to get him to the point where he's kicked off. Like, I don't know. It's too funny. It's salient points. So man, I think I said it on the channel 2 weeks ago. Like Nagy could really be a consideration, especially now we got Borgonzi as a real threat to definitely possibly become the GM. I don't know if it's a terrible thing. I'd still rather Flores and then Glenn and then him, but you wouldn't pair Justin Fields with him, right? If we don't bring back Aaron, just because of what happened with them in Chicago. But it could still end up being a thing. But since Vrabel was selected to leave, I think people got to realize the whole opening of it could be whatever GM it could be. Now it's even more vacant because beforehand he was wanting to pick who he really wanted as a GM, which everyone should have thought that wasn't actually the best idea anyway. But now it's really wide open still. I don't know. I don't know how everybody still feels. I think everyone's still going to just rally behind the whole Glenn idea, but I think people
What
sleeping on
choice do we
Flores.
have? To me, it's Glenn
Yeah.
or Flores at this point of the options, with McCown being the wild card third option.
What would you do if you heard Nagy and Borgonzi?
I'd be disappointed. I mean, I'll take Nagy over Arthur Smith, but I'd be
Ron
disappointed.
Rivera. Right? You take it over Ron Rivera. We'll take it over Joe Brady. I'm sorry. How much
I would take Rex over Nagy, to be honest. I really would.
Really?
'Cause I don't think it's going to work with Nagy, and it probably wouldn't work with Rex, but it'd be more fun with Rex. Honestly, at that point, I'm thinking about myself. Rex is better for my business. That's the bottom line. It's not going to work with either in all likelihood. So at least let's be fun for the first 6 months of Rex in the press conference until the games actually start. Because I'd be so disenfranchised with this team if they hired either of them that I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like it is what it is.
I don't
Also,
know,
Nate
man.
says, eat the salad. Stop playing with it.
Oh, I've eaten half the salad already. I got to be careful. I pace myself before I die. It's eating me from the outside in. I mean,
Did
inside
you
out.
put any butter in that salad? What do you think?
Depends. It's got to be French. Got to talk to Gary. Got to get the hookup. Need that French butter. Only French. So yeah, man. I don't know. Everybody should buckle up. This is gonna get dangerous with the Jets.
You ready to
Next
go?
2 weeks. I'm ready to go. I got my Asman hat. I got the shirt. I'm ready to go. I'm always ready to go, bro. I'm actually
Philly?
thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of if I get in real quick. If I get on a call of Beastbreaker, I looked online. I'm thinking of ordering a Macho Man Randy Savage outfit and just going off with him, just wearing a little getup. Like, oh yeah, just going back and forth with him. I think it might be entertaining, bro. It might catapult me in the rankings there. So
That's a good
thinking
move.
about
That's a good move. I think you
Thinking
should maybe
about
look into that.
Yeah, already. Later.
Philly, enjoy the salad. Good call. We got some elites on the line right now. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm breaking a rule. I go in order typically of who calls in, but we got to hear from this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since he revealed on the show yesterday he was hit by a car, we say hello to Gary.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
You made Decker watch the
Is it
video, Gary? You're sick. Hi, Decker.
He's like, can you play the video one more time? Can you do it one more time for her?
Start to finish or just the car scene? She doesn't know. Here we go.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
Decker? No. Daddy's okay, so it's funny, baby. If Daddy was dead, it wouldn't be funny, but Daddy's fine. He has a sprained ankle.
Aw, Look at her so concerned about you. He's okay, Decker. Don't worry. You should have seen what the car looked like.
You see what the car looked like? Yeah. Daddy was walking again. The car's in the shop. You want to say hi to Jake?
Aw.
Say hi to Jake.
Hi.
Hey, Decker, how are you?
Good.
How's everything?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Mhm.
You having a good start to the year 2025?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you learning in school right now? Anything interesting?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt about school as well.
Stupid man.
Stupid, man.
Yeah, math is stupid. It doesn't get better either. Sorry to
Hate
tell you that.
math.
Yeah,
Mommy
so.
teaches you math, right?
Mhm.
Daddy doesn't teach you math.
Decker, how do you feel about boxing? Do you ever box sometimes, like your dad?
No.
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 Do you want to? No, you don't like it?
Mm.
Not for you. What's your favorite sport?
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Love that. Are you going to cheer on the show for us at someday?
Probably not.
Can you do a cheer for the Jets?
No.
Oh, really?
Jets don't deserve it. Maybe
Jets don't deserve a
maybe
cheer.
If they make it. Maybe if they win.
She's not wrong. The Jets definitely don't deserve it.
It says if they win, we'll get a cheer. So I maybe a couple times next year, if we call in the right time, we can get a cheer. That was brilliant, by the way. Well done, Gator. I knew you were gonna do something with it, but that far exceeds my expectations.
He goes, not sure that video was made for kids.
My dad showed me The Shining when I was 8 years old, and I think it forever messed me up. So she can see that at 10. She'll be fine.
That's great parenting. My dad
Yeah,
screwed up, so let me screw up my daughter as well.
I look back at that. I wouldn't show my kids The Shining now when they're 10. My dad, I remember I was in 3rd grade, and he's like, "Here, watch this. This is a great movie."
You know, this this explains a lot about you.
Maybe, yeah. I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh, we still
Bring
on the
Decker
call?
back. Bring Decker back. I need to play
Decker,
the
come back. Decker, come back real quick.
We got to erase her memory of that video. I don't want to be responsible
on.
for her trauma down the line, seeing her dad get hit by a car.
Give me 1 second. Decker.
The crooked photos. There's nothing like it. Gary, how much to get a photo of you and Beastbreaker up there? Gator, make the Photoshop. While we wait for Decker, shout out to Beastbore. We'll get you in the raffle for 5. Your super chat, get me in the raffle. Also, it'd be an absolute blunder if we don't interview Kingsbury, Monken, Carroll, McCarthy, and Gruden. I agree. Look, if some of those guys say no, fine. I know for a fact, trust me, McCarthy and Gruden would take interviews. It's a hard sell to our fan base that they truly did their diligence if they're neglected. I agree. Look, if Kingsbury doesn't want to interview or Monken, okay, fine. McCarthy would take an interview. Gruden would take an interview. If we're going to interview Mike Loxley and Joe Witt Jr., who exactly? Then why aren't we talking to guys with Super Bowl rings? Anyway.
Say hi.
Hello.
Hey, Decker, I want to play something for you because I feel like you could use a nice little pick-me-up, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, sing along.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza and to close the Shell gas station. Cause chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
Yeah, there's that smile. Thank you, Decker.
No.
You have a fantastic Wednesday, okay?
You too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Decker joining us. Now that's kid appropriate. Right, Gary?
I don't think that. I don't. She's 10. She's not 3. I don't think the Gator video was inappropriate for kids. Maybe because it was me getting hit by a car.
Yeah, that's why. Duh.
It's clearly a cartoon, a caricature. It's clearly not me. But
I don't know. It looked
right.
real to me.
Maybe that was a bad idea in retrospect.
What else is on your mind? So you saw The Shining when you were in 3rd grade. You got hit by a car.
Like, I
Moon
hit life
landing's
hard.
fake. You've been on quite the run. I think Gary's in contention for the #1 seed of the month in January.
It's tough. It's crowded at the top. It's a loaded crowd.
What did you see Beast Breaker's call today?
I didn't. I've been busy this morning. I was just tuning in.
Him and Big Fellow went at it.
And Big Fella, did you get the W? I mean, there's no reasoning with them, right? Like, I don't know how's this going to go.
It's like talking to you. Honestly, Beast Breaker and you are very similar.
It is literally nothing like talking to me. It is not like talking to me.
When you argue, it's very similar. Right now, it's not. But when we argue about something, it is very similar.
Okay, so I'm saying you should choke on your monkey cheese nuts like Beast Breaker does. That, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what okay. If you want to say it's like arguing with Alan or JJ, I respect that. It's not like arguing with Beast Breaker. That's not the case at all.
Oh, some breaking news from the committee chair. Boomtown writes in, I just realized Decker called into the show herself in the past year. She could technically qualify for March Madness. If Decker got in the tournament, we have to rig it. Not rig it, but, you know, the NCAA tournament does this all the time, where they, like, create matchups in the first 2 rounds. Where, like
yeah.
You know, Rick Pitino will be up against, like, Louisville in, like, the second round. They'll set it up so, like, something like that would happen. We have to have Decker go head-to-head with you so Decker could knock you out of the tournament.
She's definitely going to beat me. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I think your rating is boosted by Decker, but if we separate you two, I mean, Decker could be a top 5 seed.
I think so. I think she could make a run. She could make a run. She could easily be a Sweet 16 in the Sweet 16 for sure. I'm the one that raised her. I know. I know.
It's maybe one of the things you definitely did right.
I made her, and it only took me like 2 minutes, you know.
Nick M writes in, Beast has made it, so now I don't disagree with Alan or Gary as much. LOL. You know what? They aren't that bad now.
I don't even know what I can't follow anything that Beast says. Like, I don't really even know what his takes are. I know he wants Rex, right? He wants Rex.
Yesterday he threw out an interesting idea, Andy Reid as the Jet coach.
Yeah, because he's available. We could do. Why haven't we gotten Andy Reid yet? It's
true.
Losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. I did have a reason why I called.
The chat is calling you a 2-minute champ. Your thoughts?
For me, there's no such thing as premature. Whenever it finishes, that's the right time. So, you know, just the right time. I finished in just the right time.
I was going to ignore it, but the chat heard it, so. Gary, you're on quite the run. Don't screw it up. There's still 15 days to go.
Yeah, we still got half a month.
I think a #1 seed could happen.
January and February are the last month, and then how's it going to work in March? Because we're approaching that time. We're only a month and a half out till March.
Correct. January monthly ranking, February monthly ranking. Then we're going to get to the bracket in March. There won't be any monthly rankings for March and April because the tournament's going to continue likely into April because, as everyone knows, the NCAA tournament actually goes till April 7th when the national title game is. So ours is going to start before the actual NCAA tournament because we just have so much more to do. But we are going to, space it out, and there'll be the return of the monthly rankings in May. We're going to give the committee a much-deserved month off in April.
Okay, so like we're going to do like one round a week, or how's that going to work once we get to the?
No, every day on the show there'll be a new matchup. Now there'll be maybe some days we have to do 2, depending on like if because I'm traveling a little bit in March for some stuff, so I might not be able to do like 2 shows a day every day. So we'll figure it out.
Interesting. Okay. This is big time. Okay. I don't really have anything else, Jake. Well done, Gator. That's really what I wanted to say. Gator, if you call in, he'll play the video. So you got the video. That was well done, Gator. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Gary.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm going to go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
Unbelievable. Jimbo's next. Hey, Jimbo.
What's going on, Jake?
Jimbo, appreciate the $50 super chat. Not only are you in the raffle, but what? This is your first call too. You're making history today.
Yeah, had to, especially, unlike Allen, have to have a Jets piece of merch on, JTS, baby, let's go. But also, Jake, I went to the Knick game on Friday, and I'm pretty sure I might have seen you walking out. I thought I saw you from like the side or something, but I wasn't sure because I think you're wearing like a beanie. So
I was, yeah,
but
it was me. You should have said hello.
I would have, just wasn't sure if it was you. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. First call,
Jimbo,
not
you're
like
doing a great job.
pros.
You're doing a great job.
I sent it in yesterday. I want Borgonzi and Glenn, but I say that like I want it, but never know what you're actually gonna get. So I'm okay. I just want the correct person. I don't even care CEO, offensive, defensive minded. Just can we get the right guy? Like that's it. That's all I want. Also, if we can't get Graham from Michigan at 7, I don't mind taking, McMillan from Arizona, because we need somebody beside, like you've been saying, besides Garrett. After when the offseason starts, we have nobody. We have nobody on the out. Maybe Corley, yeah, but does he know the play? Does he even know the base packages? So it's crazy. You say it all the time. Fourth on our board yet. The guy finally got reps in week 10, week 9, unbelievable. I've been all over the place. Sorry, my mind's like Gary right now, but I also went to all the games. Like last year, I went to 9/11. I saw, I remember before Rodgers went on the field, I shook my friend's hand who, funny enough, he was a Lions fan years ago. And then because his family is mostly Jets fans, because his only ties to the Lions were Stafford and Megatron. So when Stafford got traded to the Rams, he's like, all right, all Jets, I guess. And then I was like, John, we finally got him.
Wait,
Shook his hand.
What was his connection to Stafford and Megatron? He just liked them?
Yeah, no. So I think it was, he was obviously, when everybody's a kid, you grow up trying to I feel like you like players before you actually get a team, or like certain people like you, you're birthed into the Jet fandom. Like me, I wouldn't say I'm a bandwagon, but more I had to choose because my dad was a Giants fan. So I saw the 2 Super Bowls with him, but I like the color green as well. So I've gravitated to the Jets. And then
What a mistake. What a mistake.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that the second best quarterback season I've seen is literally this year, and I can't even be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's terrible, man. Terrible.
But back to who besides also McMillan. I know I just bounced ping ponging off the wall, but besides McMillan, I wouldn't mind taking Starks from Georgia at probably on a trade down scenario, because taking a safety at 7, unless he's Tyrann Mathieu or Buddha or one of those guys, he's an impact right now, which he could be. I don't know. I'm a Georgia fan, so I love big fella. I love Gary. We can disagree on college, but you guys are still my guys. Same with all your OGs, Neil, Peter, Alan. F yourself. Sorry. You and I can genuinely agree on that. That guy is a scumbag. Sorry if that gets me banned. If you have to, usually I thought I was gonna curse a lot more on this call, but
you're doing great, Jimbo. You're making a lot of good points. Call back anytime, man. Great job.
Still a little nervous, but appreciate the time, Jake. JTS, baby, let's go. Hopefully we're not in the doldrums anymore.
That'd be nice. Jimbo, excellent call. Don't be nervous. You did great. Let's get him let's give him a round of applause in the chat. Great job by Jimbo with his debut there. He super chatted earlier to bounce the Beast Breaker. So if you're anti-Beast, you love him for that too. But man, he could have been a Giants fan. See, that's the thing. I didn't have a choice. I don't understand how if you have a kid, they're not rooting for the same teams as you. You could have chose the Jets or the Giants. Your dad's a Giants fan. You didn't just, unless your dad's, I guess, is not a big football fan. It's just a casual. I get my dad didn't really care about baseball. If he had to pick a team, he'd say the Mets. But my uncle's a diehard Yankees fan, and he took me to my first game. There was no doubt I was gonna be a Yankee fan. But As far as what he said at the beginning, right? Like, just don't care if it's offensive or defensive, just get it right. The problem with that is we're not going to know for a while. We got to hope they get it right, but like if they could hire Glenn and we could be excited about it, but we don't know. We don't know. Speaking of Glenn, Jack super chats us. Thank you, Jack. Glenn just finished a press conference, and I think he's our guy. Incredible coach. Says he knows both sides of the ball, but wants to be known as a coach and leader of men, not dedicated to one side. I mean, that's the right answer. That's what they're supposed to say. That's what Salah said, too. Aaron Glenn, I think, is a really good candidate. I just get nervous of, here we go, first-time coach, defensive background. What's his offensive staff going to look like? That's the key. Justin wants to know, hey, Gary, how many super chats to get you to rub butter on the beast? Could you imagine that visual? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a guy on the line right now that we need to say hello to. He's someone that I believe we all love. I believe he is someone that we all respect. And I believe he's someone that at times we even fear. The king has arrived. Hello, Lowski.
Jake, my brother. Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you, my brother. Let's get one thing straight. I want to say this first and foremost. You know, anytime anybody says Derek Jeter is overrated, they deserve to get hit by a car. But God bless you, Gary. You know what I'm saying? Much health to you. You know, Gary, I don't wish no ill will on you, Gary. But anytime you say Derek Jeter is overrated, you deserve to get hit by a car. But let me just say this, man. I see this Beast Breaker guy is taking a liking to the chat and to the channel. Let me just say this, man. It's an art to this yelling shit, okay? It's an art to, if you want to get on Jake's show, you do a little cussing, okay? And I'll be honest, I'll be first to say, okay, I've done a lot of cussing on Jake's show. I won't do no cussing right now. But let me just say this, man. To the butter meatball sausage guy here, okay? It's an art to this, man. Hold on, because I don't want you to think that you know you can just come on here and just say anything. All right, you can't just come on here and just spew nonsense talking about Andy Reid needs to be the next head coach. Okay, what idiocy! That ain't even a word, okay? It's some idiocy in this damn chat, okay? Let's get this guy some damn help, all right? Now he named the damn 10 players yesterday, all right? All right, and if you're gonna be a damn jet up in here, make some damn sense when you speak, okay, son? Because I'm getting tired of all of this damn yelling and you just calling everybody pussy, all right? No, we ain't finna hear that. You gonna talk about some damn Jets. We don't give a damn if you was a damn Jet fan for no damn 26 years or whatever the hell long it was. All right? At the end of the day, son, talk Jets. All right? That's all I want to hear from you, butterball, meatball, sausage man, looking like the clown from Spawn. Okay? At the end of the day, man, we talking Jets. Let's talk Jets. I want this guy Dimitrioff in here. I want Bravo in here, man. If that ain't gonna be the case, get Aaron Glenn ass in here. Okay, let's look at rocket science, people. Okay, if we feel like we got a good candidate, let's get his ass in the building and let's get to work. Okay, because it's time for the bullshit. It's time out for the clown shit. Okay, let's get this damn season going, baby. I'm already pumped up, and this season ain't even over with. Okay. I'm ready to see my boys back on the field because at the end of the day, it was bullshit last year, okay? Or this year, whatever it is. Right? It was bullshit. So, hey, man, when you come up here, let's talk some Jets and let's get this damn thing going, baby.
The king is back. He's spoken. King Lowski. We got to get Lowski in the room for these interviews, man. Dark Knight Steve. Good to see Steve in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. He nails it. Lowski needs to be in the interviews with the 33rd team. Amen. Amen. Wrong verb. You merely adopted the scream. John, King drops the mic. How's John not a member? John is a longtime listener of this show. We got to get John a member. John, make sure you have membership receipts turned on. We got to get you a channel membership. We've added 18 entries. I'm shocked we didn't have more, to be honest. For those who missed it, Joe Klecko, signed jersey, part of our next raffle. This in the G5 helmet are the top two prizes in the raffle, which we'll do most likely next week, depending on how many entries we get. And I can already tell you, not this raffle coming up, but the following one is going to include an autographed piece of memorabilia by Brees Hall, which has just been purchased. So I'll announce that when we get closer. Justin says, how do we get a membership, Jake? I've been here long too. So make sure you like the video. Make sure you're a subscriber, Justin, which if you commented in the chat, you are. And you have to turn on gift receipts. So click on someone's name who gifted a membership, and you'll see in settings it says receive memberships. So click on Ronnie's name, for example. Or click on Big Fella's name, for example. And you'll have a chance to do it. Billy says we need more King calls. Amen. Amen. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, one last call. Unless someone frees the beast, this will be the final call. Ralphie writes in, Brees signed pizza box from when you met him. No, that'd be great if I thought of that. Imagine I had a Brees Hall autographed Joe's pizza box. That would have been hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, we end today's show by bringing in the closer. We say hello to none other than Chiefs fan.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill. Later, I
Bring in the
needed
closer.
that.
Here we go.
Closer like Mariano Rivera. Sorry if I butchered that name. Did I say it correctly?
Mariano Rivera, close enough.
Yeah, my bad. Tomorrow I will not be on the morning show. My grandparents sent me a birthday money check, so I'm gonna put that into my account and get some springtime clothes since I rarely
Cha-ching.
buy those. Yeah.
Now, what does springtime clothes look like?
Just more t-shirts. I have a whole bunch of designer t-shirts that are worth $40 a piece, and not that bunch of cheap t-shirts that you can put on when you just go to the grocery store. So I need to stock up on those because I don't like wearing my $40 designer t-shirts. Less of fun traveling.
I'll tell you what, I have complete confidence in you looking good.
Thank you. If I do go, I'm just gonna wear a bunch of stuff that I won in Twitch raffles. Like I won a bunch of different t-shirts through COVID during Twitch.
Suggestion here from M. Morris. Chiefs fan needs to work with Beast. He always keeps his cool, even when people around him are dropping like flies.
Here's the thing. I don't think I can. I would like to tame the guy, but like, I don't like being cut off. So if he cuts me off more than twice, I'm just gonna be like, you're a lost cause. Because when you're trying to work with someone, they need to shut the fuck up and listen. Sorry for the language, but like,
I'll tell you what. Hey, Beast, I will grant you immunity from the hole if you're still out there and want to call back in.
I'd rather do it another day. I don't
All
want.
right.
I haven't ate lunch yet, and I do not want to mess. I'm going out for hoagies.
Okay, so let me ask you a follow-up then. How does you not having eaten lunch relate to you not being able to calmly speak with Beast?
Because if my acid reflux and my stress goes up, I'm not going to eat. I'm like one of those type of people.
I see.
I'm one of those type of people. No offense, Beast. I'm like, I'm one of those type of people. Plus, like that German anger in me, you'll get so fucking mad that you don't want. Like, I used to get so fucking mad, like when I used to watch my team, the Chiefs, when they were sucking, that I would
So,
just,
wait a second.
I wouldn't finish a meal.
If I'm following, you want no beef with the beast until you eat beef. Is that correct?
I'm going to a new sandwich shop in town. Gonna try them out. They do free toppings for your first order, so I'm just gonna get. I know I shouldn't be eating it, but I'm gonna get myself a bunch of red onions on my hoagie.
Also, can you tell me more about your acid reflex?
Oh no, I'm good on that. Like it's just
Is that
shit happens like that. Like especially when you used to be 350 pounds, you're gonna have bad acid reflux throughout your life.
is that different than acid reflux? What you're talking about?
Yeah, acid reflux, GERD. My bad. I'm sorry if I stutter. Or I'm like, I was up until 5 last night, so 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I was up until 5 helping my friend fix his computer and reinstall all of his drives. I know basic computer knowledge like that, especially on the older models.
Right.
I don't know. He's got like an older model that's like 7 years old that he's remodeling into a newer Windows one, since he doesn't like anything past 20. What was it? Doesn't like anything past 2017 and model wise. So it just uses shell and then always remodels the computer around the shell, laptop or whatever. The only reason why I know computer wise stuff in 2017 is I took a class on that was given out free. They were giving out free classes raffled on Twitch, and I learned how to basically put together any laptop from 2017, and I still have a good memory on that.
Is it fair to say you would consider yourself an acid reflex survivor?
Yes, basically. But I just wanted to say this about the Jets football situation. I would love to see you guys just get a coach that's not gonna tank you for another 5 years. Like I don't understand. Like I'm in the same boat as you. Why don't they? Why Gruden? He might not be politically correct, but he's trying to change his ways. Pete Carroll. He might be old. He might be a has-been. He might do something. JJ. Well, not JJ. McCarthy. My bad. I'll get them confused. McCarthy. Lure the Steelers in the trade in Talmud. That's 4 veterans. They could be a bridge to the Super Bowl. Like bringing in new, like the only new person who I like that you guys are interviewing is Aaron Glenn, but I have a feeling the Saints, like people are saying, is going to steal him away.
Matt Ryder writes in, how's the pocket change situation this week?
Good. I constantly keep my change. The funny thing is, people in this town literally don't give a shit about change. They'll put it in a tip jar. They'll literally toss it on the ground because I'm in one of the rich white areas. So they'll literally like drop their change in the ground and not give a shit. So I'm like, okay, that's a come up.
Purple Belt Mike wants to know, do you change your couch covers?
Yes. Actually, I ordered a new one, but I wash this twice a week. I wash this twice a week when I wash my bed sheets twice a week. I get my bed. I'm getting new bed sheets and too, so I'm gonna be looking at throws to toss on this.
Ryan wants to know, do you carry a piggy bank?
No, but when I go out, I carry one of those small book bags, and I carry a small bag of small Ziploc bag, and I put the change in there. Like I grew up with that, basically the hood mentality. Like I would always carry that small book bag on me because you never know. This is the Windy City. Like one point we were walking home and we found $100 bill on the ground because blew out of someone's pocket. So we spent it. We're teenagers. We got yelled at for that. We were supposed to return it. That's what our parents told us.
Mike writes in, you change the color every now and then. It's like a new couch with every color.
I wish. I just got this pink thing because this was at shit. Goodwill. It was at Goodwill for a few dollars, and it was during breast cancer month. And I'm like, okay, let me pick out the pink one for all those who've lost their breast or lost people to breast cancer.
Cactus Johnny says, "Gotta love a man with a Merce." Would you consider your small bag a Merce?
Oh no, it's not a Merce. I carry. I don't have many allergies, but I have an EpiPen just in case if someone needed one. I carry.
Wait a second. You really are a hero. You carry an EpiPen on you.
I carry an EpiPen if I go out to events. If I'm in town, I don't.
But do you have food allergies? Like I need an EpiPen if I have like peanut butter, for example.
I'm allergic to something in mayo. I puff up like Miss Pufferfish, and if I eat broccoli, I puff up like Miss Pufferfish. But if I eat cauliflower, I break out with hives.
For those who don't know who Miss Pufferfish is, please Google.
Oh yeah, she's SpongeBob's teacher.
Mrs. Puff.
She went batshit crazy, thanks to SpongeBob.
Steve says that's illegal and not a good idea.
What? Not to carry one of those around?
Well, you shouldn't carry an EpiPen for someone else. It should be for you.
Okay, true. My bad. Okay, I was used to that because I always also have a small first aid kit on me when I go out. Well, here's the thing. I know to stay away from certain things, and I can't. There's a certain oil in mayo that I'm allergic to, or a certain thing that they put in the mayo.
Hey, Cheats fan. Gator wants to know how many gift memberships for Cheats fans to eat that thing that makes them puffy. So here's really the answer here. How much would you need to be paid to eat mayo so you get puffy?
I'm not risking it because every time I have an allergic reaction, I spend a week in the hospital, and I'd rather be free. There's no way. Unless if you turn into Elon Musk and give me $1 million tax free.
Couple of follow-ups here. Dixon writes in, do you carry Narcan?
No, I do.
What if someone overdoses on drugs when you're out?
This is a nice town. There's no druggies like that here. It's not like in the hood.
I see.
It's not like in the hood, but I know people who live in the hood who carry Narcan on them because there's too many people on the San Francisco streets shooting
Ralphie
up.
writes in, most guys carry condoms when they go out.
Actually, I've been absent for a while. I've been absent for a while, mainly due to the fact that my last relationship took advantage of me so much that I just don't want to get invested. I haven't dated in over a year, and it's made me like when I was dating, I was like 70 pounds heavier at one point due to the stress. But I'm coming, like I said, in 2025, I'll put myself back on a market during springtime.
So you're going to be an eligible bachelor.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm already speaking to certain people in town, and yeah. The thing is, yeah, I am. The thing is, I just don't like. The thing is, I'm just not a big talkative person at dates.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Just wanted to wish you that in advance.
Thank you. Like the last person who I dated, like mentally broke me, also stole from me, also took money, also stole jewelry that wasn't mine that I was cleaning for friends.
Your ex-girlfriend stole from you and stole from your friends?
Yes.
Jeez, this sounds like a real toxic relationship.
My friends are like, we need to slap. I'm like, you never put your hands on a woman, even if it's self-defense. You try to restrain them. You never.
Did you report this person to the police?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say their name, but we reported them. They got all the jewelry back. My friends, they're now my ex-friends because they said we should have kicked their ass. I'm like, I'm not gonna be friends with a woman abuser.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you went through this experience. Hopefully, when you're out on the market this spring, it goes better.
But like like for the thing that Gary said, 2 minutes. I'm like, it's not how long you last. It's just a process. If it works, it works. If you want to have a kid, whatever works, works.
Are you trying to have a kid? Is it going to be a baby?
No, I'm not.
No.
I've told my friends I'm not trying to pass down to just all the fucked up things that I have right now.
You don't think you'd be a good father?
I was always told to adopt before having a kid with all
come?
OCD, ADHD, bipolar. You don't want to pass those genes down.
I don't know about that. I mean, if you meet the right person, maybe you have a kid anyway.
Yes, but I don't want to pass those genes down. I don't want the kid to go through the same shit I went through when I was 3 years old.
I see. Well, I'll tell you what. I think you'd make a hell of a father.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm like, I used to look out for the kids in the ghetto and made sure, like, I would babysit. I would also pit bulls babysit. So that's basically looking after like kids times 4, because Staffies and Pitties are very, very playful dogs.
Brooklyn Born writes in that you should have brought this crazy ex to your neighbor's house.
No. Like she ruined everything. The reason how she got caught, we were at my parents' place, and my parents have really, really nice fine china and silverware. She was caught putting the fine china that my parents have had since the days of Germany, since we've had it since the 1800s. Like real good fine china. And she caught that, and my niece walked up to me and said, "Hey, she's stealing." And I went in there and I went ballistic. She tried to make it look like I was aggressive. I'm like, no, you don't steal my family heirlooms.
Wow. This is shocking to hear what you went through, Chiefs fan.
Well, that's the reason why I haven't put myself on the market. I don't want to go through that shit again.
Dark Knight C wants to know, would you consider a babysitting job?
No. The first word of your child is going to be fuck if I babysit. Because I might stub my toe and say motherfucker.
I say, do you stub your toe often?
No, it's just like I don't trust myself around babysitting. Now, pet sitting is easier because they can't speak English.
Do you speak dog?
No.
Give us a woof.
I'm good on that.
Come on, give us a arf, arf, woof, woof.
I'm good on that.
Gorman gave us a Chewbacca sound earlier. You can give us a dog bark. Come on. All right, animal of your choice. You want to do a frog? Ribbit. Ribbit.
I'll do a joke that might get me in trouble. Rub it. Rub it. If y'all don't get that reference, y'all need to get some humor in your life.
How about a little meow?
Nah.
Meow. Come on, you're a cat.
Nah, I'm good.
No.
Man.
What about like a tiger? Give us a roar, or a lion.
Nah. Gator has so much shit on me. I don't want to give him more.
What about like a pig noise? Oink, oink.
I'm good.
Come on.
I mean,
give us one animal noise.
All right. I'll just do since my friend's a Ravens fan. Caw, caw.
I need some more energy into that.
Caw, 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 caw.
One more. Come on, Cheats fan, like you mean it.
God damn it. Caw, 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 caw. There you go. Since my friend's a Ravens fan. He's been a...
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
This was an all-time show. I mean, wow. You guys are the greatest. And Cheats fan, I mean, that's why many believe he's the #1 overall seed in the tournament. But, I mean, you could argue him. You could argue Gorman. You could all argue so many Asmaniacs. It's incredible. Unbelievable. Thank you all for watching. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Jeff Parles joining us at 4 p.m. Eastern today So 3 hours from right now, if you're watching live, there's still 300 and something of you guys in here. Not all of you have subscribed yet. I'm calling you out. I see what's happening here. Hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 41K. We'll be back in the afternoon. More chances to win the Klecko autographed jersey and the Garrett Wilson autographed helmet. Thank you all for your incredible support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I end today's show with a little blast from the past. Speaking of Cheats fan, let's go back in time to a time when he interviewed for a job at Alden's shoe store.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cheats fan. Now, for those who are unaware, Cheats fan broke the news to us that he's currently mowing lawns for a living.
I wasn't going to work retail. I worked at Walmart for part-time. I'm not going to be in there when some crazy-ass white person wants to set some shit on fire, and then the guy sets the guy on fire. I wonder why there's a fire truck at Walmart. I'm like, oh, that crazy fucker actually did it.
Bonesy writes in, Jake, I gave Bobby the rights to make decisions on Alden shoes. Maybe Bobby can interview Cheats fan for me.
It's time for a Bobby job interview.
Are you into shoes at all?
I watched enough of Al Bundy to know about basic shoe stuff and
let me measure your chest.
Looked into shoe stuff, and my friends would always have the newest pair of Jordans while I was sitting there with $35 Dr. Scholl's not giving a damn what people said.
Look at me. Do you ever sell anything?
I would convince people like, oh, there's this new card product, go and buy it. Or like, I see you eyeing those plushies. One of their workers would always go open the fire door and light up a joint.
If you worked at Alden's, what would you say to a customer?
Do you need any art support? Would you like to purchase these shoes that are on sale? I wanted to be a Walmart greeter, but nowadays they give that to the elderly.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Bobby. Clean the cars, but they asked them, oh, they would do it anyway.
Times when people would, there's times when people be in the hood.
Cheats fan, you got the job. Bonesy already wrote in, Cheats fan, you're hired.
Perfect. But the thing is, as a 13-year-old, I was cleaning cars better than the people who work at the car cleaning places because.
Well, Bobby, excellent job. Thank you for your service.
No problem.
You go back to your lawn chair now, Bobby. What a show, folks. You won't find this anywhere else.